voltage applied to an inductor or capacitor. Inductor as well as capacitor. As in the last class we know or we studied that what happens or what is the relationship between voltage and current. So when AC is connected to a pure resistor, that is, or as we can say, in a pure resistive circuit, the relationship between voltage and current, and the relationship between current and voltage was, there was no phase difference between current and voltage. The phase difference between current and voltage was 0. But let's know today, so what happens or what is the phase relationship between current and voltage, alternating current and alternating voltage. So when a pure capacitor and an inductor is connected to voltage, that is alternating current or alternating voltage. Okay, first is alternating voltage applied to an inductor. Okay, so inductor is nothing but it is a coil. So it is a coil is a wire is winded around a coil or metal core. So that is considered as inductor. So this inductor, so you can see the circuit diagram. So this is an inductor. It is a simple coil. So nothing but it has a metal core has a windings on it. So this AC supply or input voltage or alternating voltage of VC. I told you this may be sometimes V0 or VM, maximum or peak current, maximum amplitude or maximum value of the voltage. You can represent it by Vm or V0. Sin omega t is the input voltage connected to in an inductor. Okay. So this is a circuit diagram, and this inductor has a windings. I told you it has windings, and due to those windings it has some resistance. But let us consider now this resistance offered by the inductor is negligible. So we are going to neglect the resistance of some resistance, little amount of resistance it has. So let us just neglect this small amount of resistance attained by this inductor. Okay, it has only inductance L, self-inductance L. So you studied what inductors are and about the self-inductance of the inductor in electromagnetic induction. So this is an inductor of inductance, self-inductance L. So if this is connected, then let us consider V0 or V equals to V0 sin omega t is V equals to V0 sin omega t is the voltage, input alternating voltage, where V0 is the peak value or the amplitude of the voltage, and omega is angular frequency of the coil, angular frequency. Okay, so let this be the voltage, and let di by dt is the rate of change of current. Let di by dt be the rate of change of current in the circuit. If di by dt is the rate of change of current, then we say an EMF epsilon equals to minus L di by dt. So where epsilon is the EMF induced in the coil, where L is self-inductance of the coil, di by dt is the rate of change of current, and this negative sign, it follows Lenz's law. So Lenz's law gives the polarity, that means the direction of the induced EMF. So you have studied Lenz's law. What Lenz's law says, the negative sign indicates that an EMF induced produces a current such that its direction is opposite to the change of magnetic flux linked with it. So due to the magnetic flux, changing of the magnetic flux, an EMF is induced or the current is produced. So this current or induced EMF opposes the magnetic flux linked with this. So this opposition is indicated by the negative sign by Lenz's law. Okay. So if epsilon equals to minus L di by dt. Now let us apply, since resistance is absent or since resistance is 0 in the circuit, Kirchhoff loop rule or Kirchhoff voltage law or second law. According to Kirchhoff's loop rule, so let us apply Kirchhoff's loop rule, which is also called second law or voltage law, to the circuit. According to that, the total voltage in the circuit is equal to 0. So that is, total voltage is voltage, input voltage across this source, as well as EMF developed in this inductor. So that is V plus epsilon equals to 0. V plus, what is the value of V? So from the equation, let this be equation 1. From equation 1, value of V is V naught sin omega t, V naught sin omega t minus, because why I am writing minus? Because epsilon value is minus L di by dt. Let us carry this value, minus L di by dt, which is equal to 0. Let me take this in terms of di by dt. So when you take this term to RHS, so it becomes equal to, so L di by dt, which is equal to LHS, that is V naught sin omega t. V naught sin omega t. Okay, let me retain only di on LHS and let me send L and dt to the RHS. So on sending L, it becomes V naught by L. On sending dt, sin omega t into dt. Okay. So di equals to V naught by L sin omega t dt. Now let us integrating the above equation. Integrating. So on integrating this equation, let us see what we get. So integration of di is I. We get. So V naught by L is constant here, because we are going to integrate this equation with respect to t. So V naught by L remains constant. Let us keep as it is, V naught by L sin omega t dt. Integration of sin omega t dt. Integration of sin is minus cos. So this is minus, I'll write within bracket, minus cos omega t by omega. Since omega is constant here, okay, we are integrating with respect to t, and along with t we have omega. So whatever the coefficients of t will come to denominator after integrating. So suppose it is cos at, it becomes cos at divided by a. Omega is here, so cos omega t divided by omega, which is V naught by L minus cos omega t divided by omega. Okay, so this plus constant. So you know, always we used to put one constant in case of indefinite integral. This is indefinite integral, so we have one constant there, that is integration constant or integral constant c. Okay, now this is the equation. In this equation, see that c is constant, which is time independent. That c is time independent, and it has a dimension of current, because when you equate any number of terms to current, so all those terms will have the dimension equal to current. So their dimension must be equal to current. So the constant c has a dimension which is equal to dimension of current. Okay, but see, this constant does not exist. So constant becomes 0. Constant, that integration constant does not exist, or time independent constant does not exist, because there is a reason. That reason is the voltage or the EMF of the source oscillates so it oscillates symmetrically about 0. So the EMF of the source oscillates symmetrically about 0, and therefore the current it sustains also oscillates symmetrically about 0. You have to write these reasons. So that C, which is time independent and has a dimension of current, becomes 0 or does not exist, because the EMF of the source oscillates symmetrically about 0, and therefore the current it sustains, the current sustained by the EMF, the current also oscillates symmetrically about 0. So for that reason C becomes constant, or so C becomes 0. So let me continue here. Okay, now since C equals to 0, I told you the reason, had to write the reason. resistance, that is EMF of the source oscillates symmetrically about 0, and therefore current its substance also oscillates symmetrically about 0. Therefore C becomes 0. Integration constant is 0. So let us carry the same equation excepting that C. Except that C, will write the equation. So equation becomes I equals to V naught by L minus V naught by L, or let me write minus sign within the bracket as it is, minus cos omega t. So let me write this omega before L. So V naught by omega L minus cos omega t. And I equals to V naught by omega L sin omega t minus pi by 2. So observe here, very important step. I have replaced this minus cos omega t by sin omega t by minus pi by 2 because minus cos omega t equals to sin theta minus 90 degree, that is omega t minus omega t, which is equal to sin omega t minus pi by 2. So since this is the reason, we have replaced this minus cos omega t by sin omega t minus pi by 2, because cos omega t equals sin omega t minus pi by 2. Okay. Now finally I equals to V naught by XL, or I'll replace that by I naught only. V naught by, sorry, I equals to I naught, because I have considered this V naught by omega L as I naught sin omega t minus pi by 2. So let this be equation 2. So this is the equation of the current. See, now compare the equation of current and voltage. The equation of voltage was V equals to V naught sin omega t, but the equation of current we obtained here is I equals to I naught sin omega t minus pi by 2. So here it is omega t minus pi by 2, that is nothing but current lags behind the voltage by 90 degree or pi by 2. In terms of radian it is pi by 2, in terms of degree it is 90 degree. So I equals to I naught sin omega t minus pi by 2. By this equation we can conclude, or we can just say that current lags behind the voltage. By what angle means? By the angle of 90 degree or pi by 2. Or we can say voltage is ahead of current by pi by 2 or 90 degree, or voltage leads the current by pi by 2 or 90 degree. So voltage is leading and current is lagging here, so with the angle of 90 degree. Okay, so this is the relationship between current and voltage. So when a inductor is applied or connected to the AC source, and this I naught, where, so I'll just continue, where I naught equals to this one, omega naught by omega, V naught by omega L, sorry, V naught by omega L, or this V naught by omega L can be written as XL. You can replace this omega L by XL, so that I naught becomes V naught by XL. So in this, I naught is the maximum value or the highest value or the peak value, or we can say the amplitude of the current. And here omega L is replaced by XL. This XL is called, it is inductive reactance. I'll tell you what inductive reactance, we'll talk about it later. But so this is called as inductive reactance. Omega L nothing but omega L can be replaced by XL. And I will be equal to I naught. I will be, or I equals I naught when sin omega t minus pi by 2 becomes 1. Remember, when sin omega t minus pi by 2 value becomes 1, then I will be current will be maximum when, that is maximum means I naught, the peak value. The current will be equal to its peak value, that is nothing but I naught, when sin omega t minus pi by 2 becomes 1. Okay, so this is the expression or the derivation to obtain the equation of current. And so this equation, especially the current and voltage equation, V equals to V naught sin omega t and I equals to I naught sin omega t minus pi by 2, gives the relationship between current and voltage. The relationship is the current and voltage. Current lags behind voltage, or voltage leads the current by 90 degree or pi by 2 in pure inductive circuit. Okay, so then moving on to the phasor diagram, or if you want to look the waves of this, here you have, see, with this picture you can clearly understand the relationship between current and voltage. See, so here this is voltage curve. So this is voltage wave and the dotted wave represents the current. So solid wave is voltage wave and the dotted wave is the current wave. Voltage leads current by 90 degree in phase, or phase angle between current and voltage is 90 degrees. See at this position, see this same position links to this position, and see the angle. So this position of the current is here. It is not simultaneously moving as in the case of pure resistive circuit. In pure resistive circuit, they were moving simultaneously. There was no difference between them, but here you can clearly see the difference between voltage wave and current wave. See, this is the difference. See, or if you consider this point, see, or if you consider this point, the minimum points. Okay, so this is the difference. The angle is 90 degree. See, now the phasor diagram will give a clear picture. See, the angle, so this is a phasor and one of the phasor is the current and one more phasor is the voltage. So angle between current, so this is the position. When you consider these two positions, this position is indicated by this line and the same position in the current wave. See, the same position in the current wave is represented by like this. So this is the line indicating that, and the angle between these two lines is 90 degree. Exactly, these two lines are perpendicular. Okay. So with this, we can come to know that the angle between current and voltage is 90 degree, or it is pi by 2. So this is voltage curve, or voltage wave, and dotted line is the current wave. This is phasor picture. So if you want to write, so this is enough. This is the important thing. And I told you about the inductive reactance. Let us know what inductive reactance is. What inductive reactance? This inductive reactance, as I mentioned, it is XL. It is represented by XL. Nothing but omega L. Nothing but omega equals to 2 pi F. You know the relation between angular frequency and linear frequency. The relation between angular frequency and linear frequency is omega equals to 2 pi F or 2 pi mu. F can also be written as mu. So XL equals to omega L, nothing but 2 pi F, and this L remains same. So 2 pi FL, which is called inductive resistance as in the case of pure resistive circuit. So in pure resistive circuit, there is a function or role of resistance to resist or to oppose the current or to limit the current. The same role is done by inductor or inductive reactance, which is called inductive reactance. This inductive reactance opposes the alternating current in the circuit, inductive circuit. Okay, the function is same as it of the resistance. So reactance, resistance, the function or role is same. Yes, by looking at the equation, you can see the inductive reactance is dependent on the self-inductance L of the inductor and angular frequency, and also it is directly proportional to the linear frequency. So, for direct current, for DC, for direct current, frequency is 0 because there will be no oscillations or alternating changing of the current. So direct current, it moves in a straight path, only one direction. So therefore frequency is 0 for direct current. Since frequency is 0, XL is directly proportional to F. If F becomes 0, XL is also 0 for direct current. That means the resistance or opposition is very much low. It is very low. Since the opposition or resistance is low, reactance is low, its current is maximum. So this pure inductor for DC, direct current, offers minimum resistance, or we can say it is reactance, or we can say this allows the current, direct current. This inductor or inductance allows direct current in a very much higher value. It allows greater current. That is in case of direct current, because XL becomes 0 in case of DC. And so the SI unit of this XL is nothing but ohm, same. So what is the SI unit of resistance? The same SI unit is carried for reactance as well, inductive reactance, is ohm. So this is about the inductive reactance. Once again, if you want the definition, so inductive reactance is the opposition offered by an inductance to alternating current, inductor or inductance to alternating current or any other varying current through it. It is opposition offered, or it limits the current as the resistor limits the current in case of pure resistive circuit. So this is about inductive reactance. Next is, let us know what is the power dissipated in this for a cycle, for a complete cycle, the average power in case of pure resistive circuit. In case of, see, that is XL equals to omega L equals to 2 by FL. In case of pure resistive circuit or purely inductive circuit, power, let us see what happens to this power. So in case of pure resistive circuit, the power was the product of the RMS value of current and voltage. IRMS into VRMS, the product of those IRMS and VRMS. Root means square the value of current and voltage together were giving the power. So there was a power which was existed in the pure resistive circuit for a complete cycle average power. But in this case, pure inductive circuit, the power is 0 for complete cycle. For one complete cycle, the average power is 0. Let us see how this comes. Okay. So we know power, instantaneous power. Instantaneous power, which is given by P equals to V, the product of current and voltage. So the value of voltage was, for instantaneous power, the value of voltage was V naught sin omega t, and what was the equation for current which we obtained? I equals to I naught sin omega t minus pi by 2. Okay, it is sin omega t minus pi by 2, values of V and I. Okay, then rearranging. So V naught I naught sin omega t. This sin omega t minus pi by 2 can be written as minus. It is sin omega t. So sin omega t minus pi by 2 can be written as it is sin omega omega t, so minus cos omega t. So minus sin omega t into cos omega t. Now the average value of the power, average value of power over one cycle is given by, the average value of power over one cycle is given by, so P equals to, let us integrate this. Let us integrate this. So integrating this from 0 to t, so average power. So average power is indicated by bar on it. So P bar gives average value of power for one complete cycle. 0 to t, let us integrate this. 0 to, from 0 to t. So V naught I naught sin omega t, okay, minus, I'll write here, cos omega t. So whole divided by 0 to t with respect to dt. In the denominator, let us integrate with respect to dt to get the average value. And after getting this, so here I can take this V naught and I naught as common. V naught and I naught as common, and this sin omega t into cos omega t can be written as, okay, I'll rub this. I'll continue from here. So average power, which is equal to, so V naught I naught, so 0 to t sin omega t into cos omega t, nothing but we know sin 2 theta is nothing but 2 sin theta into cos theta. Correct? See, sin 2 theta equals to 2 sin theta into cos theta. So here also sin theta into cos theta can be written as, see, sin theta into cos theta can be written as sin 2 theta by 2. So sin 2 theta by 2, that is nothing but, so I can write this as integration from 0 to t sin 2 omega t divided by 2. And this integration of 0 to t with respect to dt is t, and let me take the t outside. I have integrated in the denominator and I got t, and just I have replaced this t before the integration of the numerator. So integration of numerator is now becomes, so 0 integration from 0 to t sin 2 omega t divided by 2. Okay, but we know that integration of sin 2 omega t, so since it is a multiple of 2 theta, sin 2 theta is always 0. So since sin 2 integration from 0 to t sin 2 omega t equals to 0, okay, so this P, average P becomes 0 because this becomes 2t, V naught I naught by 2t into 0 becomes 0. Okay, so this is the average power dissipated for one complete cycle in case of pure inductive circuit. Okay, because the last reason to become 0 is sin integration of sin 2 omega t, it is always 0, is, see, we got first instantaneous power, then average value of power. To get the average value of power, we have integrated from 0 to t, the numerator, as well as in denominator we have integrated from 0 to t, that is with respect to 1 with respect to dt, integration of 1 with respect to dt. On integrating this, we got this value of power, average power, as 0. Okay, so this is how the power becomes 0. This is how the power becomes 0 in case of pure inductive circuit. Okay, says this minus value is carried here. This minus value along with minus sign, I will take it outside. But anyhow, this becomes 0. 0 into anything gives you 0. Okay, so then next is about alternating voltage applied to a capacitor. But listen, when power in pure inductive circuit, the power 0, but it consists of 4 phases, that is 4 steps it consists of. In the first step, in the first quarter cycle from 0 to t by 4, the power is positive. Okay, let me tell you about that. In the first quarter cycle from 0 to t by 4, 0 to t by 4, okay, the power is positive. From 0 to t by 4, power is positive. And then for the second quarter cycle means from t by 4 to t by 2. This is second quarter cycle. Here power is negative. Power will be negative. In the third quarter cycle from t by 2 to 3t by 4. Again power is positive. And for the last quarter cycle from 3t by 4 to t, power will be negative. So just it goes on, the value of power from negative to positive goes on varying for the respective quarter cycles. For the first quarter cycle, power will be positive. For the second quarter cycle, it is negative, again positive and negative. This goes on. But see, when you consider the total of this, okay, positive, negative cancels and gives 0 for one complete cycle. That is from the time period 0 to t. Okay, so this is about the power. So when power is positive, it is understood that the energy is supplied to the magnetic field. Energy is supplied to the magnetic field when the power is positive. When the power is negative, the energy from the source, the energy is supplied back from the magnetic field to the source. So remember, the power is positive when energy is supplied to the magnetic field, and power is negative when energy is supplied back by the magnetic field to the source. Yes, this is about the cycle, the value of power over a complete cycle, and also the values of power for respective quarter cycles. And then discussing the relationship between voltage and current in pure capacitive circuit. See, let us see now when AC source that is input alternating voltage is connected to a pure capacitor, what will be the relationship between current and voltage, and what is the phase angle between current and voltage? Let us see. So this is a circuit symbol showing that. So this is a capacitor having the voltage across the capacitance is Vc, and this is the input voltage source, AC source is connected to capacitor. See, in this case, especially one of the important property of the capacitor is to store the charge. You know, capacitor is a device used to store the charges. If it is a DC current, then a very small amount of current will be flowing through the circuit. So until a capacitor will get, the plates on the capacitor gets charged. So after, once if the plates on the capacitor gets charged, so there will be no current in the circuit in case of DC. In case of DC. Now we have given AC, alternating voltage. So let us see what happens. So in this case, the current will be flowing through the circuit, but current will not never flow through the capacitor. So there will be continuous and alternating charging and discharging through the plates on the capacitor. So through the plates on the capacitor will be alternatingly charging and discharging. Charging for the positive half cycle, because this alternating current has both the cycles, positive and negative cycle. So since it has both cycles, so when it is positive, it gets charged. When it is negative, during negative half cycle, it gets discharged. The plates get discharged. So this will be going on, and therefore it sustains current in the circuit. But the current will never flow through the capacitor. Only the charging and discharging will take place in the capacitor. So due to this charging and discharging, the current flows through the circuit. Okay. But now let us consider voltage. Let V be the voltage V equals to V naught sin omega t. V the voltage applied, now input voltage given or voltage of the source given, and we know V naught is the peak value or amplitude of voltage, peak value of voltage, and omega is angular frequency, omega is, this is angular frequency. Now let Q be the charge, of the capacitor at any instant of time. If Q be the charge of the capacitor at any instant of time, then the voltage across the capacitor, that is Vc, voltage across the capacitor, I will consider it as Vc. So voltage across the capacitor is given by, it is charge divided by capacitance C, Q by C. So, okay, so voltage across the capacitor, which is equal to Q by C. And according to now Kirchhoff's loop rule, now let's apply Kirchhoff's loop rule. According to Kirchhoff's loop rule, or it is also called voltage law or Kirchhoff's second law. According to it, so the voltage of the source will be equal to voltage across the capacitor. Voltage across the source will be equal to voltage across the capacitor, that is V equals to Vc. So from the equation V, which is equal to voltage across the capacitor. Now let's apply the values of V and Vc. So what is the value of V? V naught sin omega t. V equals to V naught sin omega t, which is equal to Vc is Q by C. Let me write this equation in terms of Q. So Q equals to, it is C V naught sin omega t. Q equals to C V naught sin omega t. So Q equals to C V naught sin omega t, and therefore Q equals to C V naught sin omega t. But the current in the circuit at any instant of time is dq by dt. So let us differentiate this Q equation. On differentiating this Q equation, so dq by dt is nothing but, so d by dt, current, this is the current. So I equals to d by dt of, so what is the equation of Q? The equation of Q is C V naught sin omega t. So I equals to C V naught, let's take it outside. C V naught, let it be outside. C V naught. Okay. Integration of sin omega t. So the differentiation of sin omega t is, it is cos omega t into omega. Sorry, we'll write this omega first. So cos omega t. So I equals to omega V naught by omega c, 1 by omega c. I can write this c as omega c as in the denominator, because denominator goes to numerator. According to that, I can write this c omega as 1 by c omega into, this becomes sin omega t plus pi by 2, because sin omega t plus pi by 2, which is equal to cos omega t. So since this being the reason, I have replaced cos omega t by sin omega t plus pi by 2. Okay, so this is a current. So once again, just, so no need of writing once again, I have written already there. to Q by C. Let us take this equation in terms of Q, which is equal to C omega C V naught sin omega t. The current is dq by dt, that is differentiation of the charge equation. On differentiating the charge equation, I equals to, okay, it becomes I equals to C V naught omega cos omega t, and this C omega can be written as 1 by C omega, because denominator goes to numerator. We can also write like this. So cos omega t can be replaced by sin omega t plus pi by 2, because we know sin omega t plus 90 degree, which gives cos omega t. Okay, and therefore in the last I will replace this equation. I equals to I naught sin omega t plus pi by 2. Sin omega t plus pi by 2. I equals to I naught sin omega t plus pi by 2. I equals to I naught sin omega t plus pi by 2. So this is the first equation, and this is equation 2. From equation 1 and 2, we can conclude that the current leads the voltage by 90 degree or pi by 2, or voltage lags behind current by 90 degree or pi by 2 in a pure capacitive circuit. So in a capacitive circuit, current is ahead 90 degree ahead of voltage, whereas in case of inductive circuit, current lags behind the voltage by 90 degree. So it is dead opposite in this case. Okay, and the phase angle between current, and here also the phase angle between current and voltage is 90 degree, both in capacitive circuit and inductive circuit, but phase angle is 0 in case of pure resistive circuit. Okay, so now let us have the graph of current versus voltage. Yes, with this you can clearly say the phase angle between them. See, the phase angle, the blue line, the dark line represents current. So this is current, the dark blue line, okay, and the light color line indicates voltage. So this indicates voltage. The dark line indicates voltage, and this is current. So this is current. See, at this instant, so look at the phase angle. So this is a point on the voltage wave, and the same point on the current wave. Or if you want the same point on the current wave, we have the current wave here. Or see, look at the angle. So that is the difference you can see there. Or else if you consider one more point on voltage, you can see the same point on current. Okay, so with this, or I'll provide you one more figure. So this is a voltage curve or wave. This is voltage wave, and dotted wave indicates current wave. This is current wave. Okay, so look at this now. This arrow indicates the direction of voltage, and this arrow indicates the direction of current. And look at the angle between them. It is nothing but both lines are perpendicular. It is 90 degree. And with this figure you can say the current is 90 degree ahead of voltage. current is 90 degree ahead of voltage, or the phase angle between current and voltage is pi by 2. Okay, now let's discuss about capacitive reactance. So in the previous derivation we got, that is 1 by omega c, which is equal to xc. See, the capacitive reactance is nothing but the effective opposition offered by capacitance to alternating current or any other varying current in the circuit. So it is effective opposition, nothing but this capacitive reactance xc. It limits the value of current. It limits the current as the resistor limits resistor limits the value of current in the resistor circuit. So this does the same function as like that of inductive reactance. This capacitive reactance is also it also opposes the current in the circuit. So it is given by 1 by omega c. So omega c is nothing but it is inversely proportional to capacitance and angular frequency, as well as it is inversely proportional to the linear frequency. So this capacitive reactance. So linear frequency for DC, for direct current, F is 0. Since F is 0, so anything by 0 gives infinity. So Xc is infinite. Capacitive reactance is infinite in case for DC current. Capacitive reactance is infinite, or it's very much, reactance is very much for DC current. That means in another way we can say this capacitive reactance or capacitor prohibits, or it just avoids the current, it stops the current. Okay, DC current, it stops DC. So in DC circuit or in direct current circuit, a very small, as I told you in the beginning, a small amount of current flows until the plates on the capacitor get fully charged. Once the plates on the capacitors are charged, so the current will stop. There will be no further current. So once the plates get charged on the capacitor, in case of direct current. So this is the purpose of capacitor reactance and its function. Okay, and let's see the power in purely capacitive circuit. So here also, similar to inductive circuit, the average power over one complete cycle is 0, because instantaneous power is given by its product of V and I. So V is equal to V naught sin omega t and I equals to I naught sin omega t plus pi by 2. So at the end we get the integration of sin 2 omega t. Here also it cancels, it becomes 0. See, P equals to V naught I naught sin omega t into this sin omega t plus pi by 2. I am going to replace this as cos omega t. Cos omega t. So P equals to V naught I naught, instantaneous power equals to V naught I naught sin theta cos theta. I told you as in the same case sin theta cos theta can be written as or sin 2 theta divided by 2. So sin 2 omega t divided by 2. Integrating or to get the average power. To get average power for complete cycle. For one cycle, let us integrate this. If we integrate, the power, average power will be equals to, so integration from 0 to t, V naught I naught sin omega 2 omega t divided by 2 with respect to dt divided by integration from 0 to t dt. 0 to t dt. So on integrating this, average power becomes V naught I naught by 2t. So integration of in the denominator gives t. So I have taken this half also. V naught I naught by 2 as outside common. So V naught I naught by 2t integration of sin 2 omega t. Okay, integration of sin 2 omega t 0. So here also, in case of pure capacitive circuit, the average power over one complete cycle is 0. But the same thing happens for the first part of cycle, power is positive, and for the next part of cycle, power is negative, and this goes on. Power positive, negative, but for one complete cycle, the average power will be 0 in case of capacitive and inductive circuit. And this is about the phase relationship between current and voltage when AC source is applied to inductor and capacitor, and also we have discussed average power dissipated in both these circuits. If you have any doubts, you can ask me later. So just work on them, practice well. Okay, so this is about the alternating current applied to, so we have studied about when alternating current applied to resistor, pure inductor, and as well as it is applied to what happens in case of when it is applied to capacitor. So in the next class we will know what happens when AC or alternating voltage is applied to all of these together, that is for LCR circuit. Okay. So thank you students, thank you so much.